Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Alan Joseph,
And my name's Calvin Madeira.
and today we'll be talking to you guys about artificial blood. To give you a small introduction, we would like to talk about an article that we chose. The article's titled, "Soon enough, we'll all have artificial blood pumping through our veins." This article was published on the 29th of March 2017 on the site Techly and by a user called Pedro Flynn. The discoverer of artificial blood is not exactly known, but it's an idea that has been in transition for many years. The first development of artificial blood dates back to the 1600s. However, the first oxygen-carrying blood substitute that was approved by the FDA, or the Food and Drugs Commission, was developed by a Japanese pharmaceutical company called Green Cross.
Artificial blood is a product in development to act as a substitute for blood. Artificial blood is designed for the sole purpose of transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide through the body. This can be considered a limitation as natural blood serves a variety of different functions, such as protection against diseases, while artificial blood only has the one main function of transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide through the body. There are two significantly different types of artificial blood which differ primarily in the way they carry oxygen throughout the body. One is perfluorocarbon-based, while the other is hemoglobin-based. Perfluorocarbons-based artificial blood are biologically inert materials that dissolve about 50 times more oxygen than blood. However, the problem is they are not soluble in water, which means to get them to work, they must be combined with an emulsifier, which are fatty compounds called lipids. Unfortunately, lipids cause blood clots, which is a problem and one of the reasons artificial blood is not out yet. Hemoglobin-based artificial blood is the other type of artificial blood. Hemoglobin are red proteins in the blood that carries the oxygen from the lungs and throughout the body. Artificial blood based on hemoglobin take advantage of this natural function. These hemoglobin products are different than natural blood in that they do not contain in the membrane, so the problem of blood typing is eliminated. However, raw hemoglobin cannot be used because it will break down into smaller, toxic compounds within the body and is pretty pricey to manufacture.
The whole idea of artificial blood revolves around the use of stem cells. Stem cells are cells that, let's say, unlike a muscle cell or a lung cell, do not really have a specialization or purpose, but they have the ability to become these specialized cells. This is through a process called differentiation, which happens when these stem cells divide. When they divide, these cells can choose to stay either a stem cell or become a cell with a specialized purpose, like a blood cell. Scientists are working to manipulate these cells in a way which makes them a viable replacement for blood. There are two types of stem cells, those found in adults and those found in embryos. The adult source stem cells are called somatic and are found in the bone marrow, brain and skin. These stem cells are used to maintain and repair the tissues in which they are found. For example, during a bone marrow transplant, stem cells are injected into a patient's bone marrow, and these unspecialized cells create new bone marrow, making the marrow able to function again like normal. Scientists have had the idea for using stem cells for many years, but the main obstacle was quantity. Scientists for many years could not produce more than 50,000 red blood cells, which is approximately 0.0000005 of the amount of cells usually found in a blood bank. However, scientists from the University of Bristol have developed an immortal system of stem cells that produce enough blood cells for many people. They did this by trapping stem cells at a very early stage of development, which results in them dividing and creating cells forever, resulting in larger quantities of blood.
If such a blood substitute were indeed developed, it would presumably play a major role in setting this of trauma care and for elective surgeries. It would also benefit patients with medical conditions who are in need of long-term blood transfusions, such as patients with blood-related diseases. These products could also be used as organ preservatives to prevent or decrease degeneration to donor organs. Religious and ethnic groups with concerns regarding the use of human blood products may accept these artificial substances, which would provide a significant patient care advance. Furthermore, when a safe and effective artificial blood substance is developed, many other benefits are predicted that human blood cannot provide. One of the main advantages of artificial blood is the amount of time it can be stored. But this time is much longer than regular natural blood, which only lasts around 42 days. The ability for blood substitute to be stored for long periods would also enable paramedics to carry it with them and treat patients in trauma and blood loss situations on the dot. In addition, as in synthetic blood doesn't have determined blood type, cross-matching blood is not required, saving a significant amount of time in trauma and blood loss situations. Blood substitute would arguably benefit the armed services more than anybody else. Medical care in the armed services would benefit from a safe, easy-to-manage blood supply. This would have tremendous implications for the military, as it would be very easy to administer, available in large quantities, and does not require typing.
The discovery of a stable and safe blood substitute would change the lives of many people, namely the people that are affected by blood disorders or those who rely on the availability of donated blood for their respective conditions. These can include people suffering from anemia, a condition in which a person's body does not produce enough red blood cells. These people who suffer from these type of conditions currently rely completely and 100% on blood donations. However, the demand for donated blood is ever increasing, and the amount of donations is steadily decreasing. This means that soon there will not be enough blood for everyone who needs it. Major issues that could be solved or helped by the use of a blood substitute is the death toll from blood-related disorders. In 2010 in the USA, an estimated 10,000 deaths came as a result of blood disorders. A large proportion of these could have been solved through the use of artificial blood substitutes and were caused by the use of blood banks. In the 17 months leading up to June of 2016, at least 2,234 people from India had contracted HIV from blood transfusions. Over the last 7 years leading up to December 2016, over 14,000 cases of HIV infection as a result of blood transfusions were reported. All of these cases could have been eliminated through the use of blood substitute, as there is no disease or no chance for disease through the use of artificial blood cells.
Currently, there are several companies working on the production of safe and effective artificial blood substitute. However, all blood substitutes suffer from different limitations and problems. At the current time, the use of artificial blood in surgery would cost a lot more than a regular blood transfusion. Obviously, this is due to a lack of understanding and suitable blood substitutes readily available. The price is expected to drop over time, however, but at the moment, a main disadvantage of artificial blood is economic. As artificial blood is a synthetic substance to put in the body, certain ethical issues will arise, especially whether to use it or not. Certain people feel it's not morally correct or is against their religion to put unnatural things in their body to keep them going. However, the possible hurdle can overcome when the patient is given an option to take artificial blood. Another major issue, arguably the most significant and concerning, is recent research that reported that blood substitute has an increase in heart attacks and deaths. According to the studies of outcomes and transfusions given to trauma patients in 2008, blood substitutes yielded a 30% increase in the risk of death and about a 3-fold increase in the chance of having a heart attack.
The premise of artificial blood has the potential to become one of the most important and the most exciting biological discoveries in recent times. The benefits that come with a suitable and tested blood substitute can change the workings of the medical field. To conclude, I would like to quote our chosen article. Hopefully, you will never need it, but if you do, then one day, just maybe, you might have artificial blood running through your veins.